So we'll just go
Okay.
ahead and do this. Don't
Okay.
worry. So well, just very, very quickly. So my name is Alison Kent, and I've been nature journaling for about well, I've been sketching birds probably for about 12 years. So what happened to me was that I used to go all over the country seeing birds, and I realized that that really wasn't very sustainable. And when I got to 700 ABA birds, I stopped doing that, and I said, okay, instead of that, I'm going to draw a bird a day.
Oh, nice.
And my own birds from here. And I was doing that for a while and keeping it on a blog. And then I kind of fell out of the habit, and I said, you know what, I really liked doing that. And so I got back into nature journaling and doing it in a more holistic way, not just birds, but also plants and any other critters that I would see and stuff. And I have found it to be an incredible way to keep my head in the right place during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It has been a great solace for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly the act of drawing itself, which really takes your head to a different place. But it's also, I think it's just focusing on something that isn't pandemic related, or the horrible political stuff that's been going on. And so I think it's plus I think it's a really important practice anyway. So what I do is I have multiple sketchbooks, but I have a dedicated nature journaling sketchbook that I take with me when I do nature journaling. And
how big is it?
I'll show you. It's this big. So it's bigger than my, so my normal sketchbook is about that big. And I do draw birds in here. But if I'm going to go on a nature journaling outing, I take this. And this is a Stillman and Byrne beta. And I use this one because
wonderful.
I really like the paper. Okay. So the paper is pretty thick. You can hear that it's and it will take a watercolor wash it takes water easily.
So I'm sorry, and what is the mark? What is the brand?
The brand Stillman and Byrne beta. But basically any this stuff is very personal. It's really important to understand that what one person thinks is the best
I like
paper,
that so
the
much.
best pen, all these things. It's not going to work. So I do work in pen. I work in fountain pen. But a lot of people don't like that because you can't erase it. I like it because you can't erase it. It makes me stop being too fussy. Like if I do the line wrong, it's okay. I'll do it again. And it stops me getting over perfectionist. But there are lots of other things that you can use. And one really great medium to use is, oh, look, someone else is joining us. Great. Yeah. Hi, Francesca. One thing I really love to use as well is watercolor pencils, because you can just put some color in and then you add water in it and it behaves like watercolor. So that's actually a really good thing to carry along. I do actually use watercolors. This is my little watercolor set. It's let's put it up right side up. Schminke, and I have, it's a bloody mess, I'm sorry, but I've just added little pans along the side here. You don't need this many colors. And in fact, I probably have too many colors in here. But a couple of good blues, a couple of good yellows, a couple of good browns for sure. And and a couple of good reds, and you're probably good. So a warm red, a cold red, a warm blue, a cold blue, a warm brown, a cold brown, you know, and with that you can essentially make every color. But I like art supply stores. What can I say? Anyway, Francesca, just very quickly, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
And just quickly, my name's Alison Kent, and I've been nature journaling for probably about 5 years, but I've been drawing birds for a lot longer than that. And I run this workshop every month. But I go out, I sketch a lot more often than that, but this is just something to introduce this practice to other people, and hope that you get excited about it. So why don't you both, actually, we haven't gotten to Kunzang yet, but why don't you both tell me a little bit about what your experience is with this? Are you brand new, or have you been doing this a while? And yeah, anything else about yourself that you think would be interesting?
Francesca, why don't you go first?
Okay. So I haven't been nature journaling for all that long. I have attended one of your workshops before. It was several months ago.
Okay.
And but I have been drawing birds and other animals and people for many years. And yes, I'm actually joining from Santa Clara, but
okay.
I live near a creek, and there are good spots for bird watching there, and I like going there to watch birds. So
excellent. Excellent. So how's the weather in Santa Clara today? It's beautiful here in Davis.
It's beautiful here too.
Yeah, and it's just so nice that the rain. We got some rain a few days ago, and it really cleared the air. So it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for joining us from Santa Clara. That's great. All right. How about you, Kunzang?
Well, I have absolutely no experience. I'm just wondering if I got in over my head. I mean,
nope.
I can't even identify birds, but
doesn't matter.
I do journal, and I worked in clay, and back in college I did some drawing. But so yeah, it's really. But I see what you were talking about drawing. I remember in college drawing and how it did just take me away and got me centered. And of course, I did some outdoor stuff, and it makes you see things that you just blob over otherwise.
So what I think is really important to realize about this practice is that it's about teaching you to see. Yeah. It's not about teaching you to draw.
Oh, goody. Okay.
Along the way, you learn to draw better. Okay.
All right.
Because you're seeing better.
Yeah.
So I think the main thing to do is to because it's such a nice day, I would actually like us to have some time outside today. So a good chunk of time actually.
Yeah.
So what I would really love to happen is for you to see something that you've seen a lot of before, but notice something new about it. Ask questions about why is this shaped this way, or why does this bird fly this way as opposed to that way? Okay. You don't need to identify the bird. If you write down or draw as much about it as you can to then help you identify it later, that's always good. That's what this is really for. And I think if we just approach this as an exercise in learning to see, we will become better both at seeing and at drawing. So I would like to suggest that we get out, that we go and, maybe I'm wondering, would 11:30 be a good time for us to reconvene here?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that going to work?
Yeah. You made it really easy for me because I have this tree in the backyard that I've
you go. Perfect. Yeah. And go and commune with your tree. I'm going to actually take my bike over to the Arboretum. There's a little tiny little. The Arboretum is very crowded these days. People are going and walking. It's a 4 mile round trip thing. But there's a little ancient California garden, sort of a California garden from the 19th century.
Wow.
That's a little bit off the path. And if you're doing a power walk for 4 miles, you don't go in there. So and they have a little bit of running water. So I think I'm going to go in there. The warblers have been coming through. I'm going to sit and just see what I see. And then let's reconvene back here at 11:30. And what I'm going to do is put I'm going to keep the recording going, but I'm going to put a drawing up here saying we're out. Drawing will be back at 11:30, so that people see it when they come to the Zoom.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just do that. 11:30 back here, because it's a really.
Yeah, I have a Skype call at around maybe 11. It wasn't quite decided, but if I don't show up, that'll be why. But
okay. Francesca, if you want, I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you want to take a picture of what you get done and send it, that would be awesome. Okay, and then we can at least have that as a this is what I did today type thing. And I've got a call with my family at noon, so I've got to kind of go and do that too. It's
all right.
It's our Sunday thing to do. Okay, well, most excellent. Well, look, I'll see you back here, Francesca. Thank you so much for joining us, and send us a photo of your work if you like. And Kunsang, I'll see you back here at 11:30.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to upload. Let's see, how do I do this? Okay, I'll figure out how to get the photo on. Okay, thanks. Take care.
Yes.
How did you get on?
Well, it was very unusual because I just sat in the back. First I started on the little deck here, and then I moved to the backyard small. And we moved here right before the pandemic from Berkeley, and we were renting by along Wildcat Canyon. So it was amazing. And this is very, very different here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in Rancho Yolo, where mobile homes are really close together. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but I've never really sat back there. And so I was really, I'm ashamed to say, because I've been gardening and stuff. I had COVID really, really bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, anyway, so how was it? It was like I was in a different world.
Wow.
It was like I was not in my own backyard. It was like I was a visitor. And
how wonderful.
And so I realized how much I don't know about the birds, and I'm interested in learning more.
Okay.
And I thought about how to attract them, because I don't have a bird feeder, I don't have water. And just the leaves against the sky, and it's very alive.
Yeah, well, wonderful. That's just great. And not far from you is the cemetery.
Yes, I go there.
That is a wonderful place.
Oh, yeah.
To see birds in the eastern bit down where it's a bit wilder.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Of course. Thank you so much. Yeah, I walked there with a dog even. It's a new world. I mean, so I've never bird watched before. So I will go there. Yeah, that's great, because it's just.
Yeah. And there are successful nesting bluebirds there every year. And if you go there, you will almost certainly see one. You may not know that's what it is. Unless you get one quite close with all that brilliant blue on it, you would then know. But yeah, no, it's a good place to go.
Okay, thank you. That's a wonderful suggestion. And another thing is, I found my pastels, which I had touched in years, and I can email these questions to you, but we have lots of squirrels, and and so if I fed them, I don't want to entice
you
the
don't.
squirrels. So anyway, but I did do something. So
Oh yeah, let's have a look. That would be great.
Let me see just a second here. This was, well, first of all, I thought of a Mary Oliver poem, and it is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. And so that really started me off. And because I could hear sirens, I could hear a lot of things, injuries to people. And I know that last week I found a little wren. I think it was a wren underneath my rose bush, and it was dead. And now I know that the Nile fever might be here, and probably I should have taken it somewhere. I didn't know that. I just buried it. But so anyway, so this was what was this? No bears, no birds. That was when I was sitting on the little deck, and Lulu is barking. That's a little dog in the neighborhood, and its mom, it has a lot of mental problems. And so that's all I could get out on the, I don't know if you can see it or not, but so that's all I did there.
That's great though.
And
that's wonderful.
And so then I went back. Let me make this bigger. That might help. And so then I went to the backyard, and I got this. There's a little bluebird in there. And
the scrub jay, yeah.
Yeah, scrub jay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
good.
So
it's recognizable.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you got the collar on the scrub jay. That's very diagnostic. So good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So my first attempt.
Well, thank you. That's just fabulous. Yeah. I hope you do it more. I think it's a great thing. And welcome to Davis. It's been quite the summer, and it was quite the summer last year.
Yeah.
What can we say? It's getting worse.
Life-changing. It is getting worse. There's a word in Dharma. There's a word in Buddhism for this kind of time, and it's called the Kali Yuga, and it is a time of great suffering and a time of deep practice and heart opening. So it's just whatever we want to focus on. I mean, we don't ignore the suffering, obviously, and so otherwise we can get so depressed. I've been there.
I know. Yeah, but this is a good way to, I think, bring ourselves back in.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
I thank you. It really has helped just today.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. Francesca, how did you get along?
It went fine. I was walking by the creek, and I saw a great egret.
And
snowy
a snowy
with yellow boots, and 3 killdeers. I could hear Buick's friends. I couldn't draw them. There was this dragonfly that I thought was a green darner, but I wasn't sure. Oh, there it is.
Well, that's wonderful. Great. I love that you have the silhouette of the water behind the egrets. It really makes them look white.
It's hard to draw the white thing. I had to draw the contrast. I used watercolor pencils too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. What did you use, Francesca, to draw? What were you using?
Oh, watercolor pencils.
Oh yeah, I have a set somewhere. I think it's a great suggestion to do that. I did it with pastels, and it's sort of hard. And anyway, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I went over to the Arboretum, which is a little bit of a bike ride away.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And wood ducks. So there was just this passel of wood ducks on the pond by the early California garden. And I was able to see 2 of them quite well. But what was really interesting was people use it a lot to go walking, and what people were saying, and I kind of I put them here, and I oh my god. So Liz, one woman was saying they should give reparations to slaves, but now the descendants of the slave owners want reparations, and the other woman saying, oh my god, are you kidding? And then this one said, my mother might get the wrath of everyone I'm mad at, And then someone else said, I thought she just got married recently. Anyway, it was actually kind of fun to have this be a sort of a
Oh, my
sidebar of
word,
what's
yes.
happening.
Yes.
But there's a couple of things that I learned that I don't think I had ever noticed before. And that is when a scrub jay is flying, I mean, it does this flap, flap, flap glide, which we know. But what it also does, and it then keeps the wings close to its body as part of the sequence. So it does flap, 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 glide, and then hold. And it dips down at that point because it's getting no lift. So that was really interesting to notice. And then I also noticed, I think I've noticed this before, but I did actually do a little drawing of it, that cormorants, when they fly, their wings are very stiff. So it's like they're not getting much lift at all. So it was good. It was, I mean, I've seen wood ducks a lot here, but this was really fun because there were lots of them, and they're pumping that edge of the pond, that site. And so the wood ducks seemed drawn to the frothing water. So that was cool. Anyway, well, gosh, thank you both so much for joining me and for having a little outing today. It's been really nice now that the air is cleaner. And
yes, and it was actually nice knowing that the both of you were out. You weren't here. And I wasn't there, but I knew you both were focusing. We were focusing
together.
you know,
Yeah. It's wonderful. So unless you have any questions or anything else you'd like to say, we can wrap this up. But otherwise, thank you so much again. It's really fun for me to have this be a focus that I do every month.
Yeah.
I do it outside as well, but it's really nice to have this be a thing.
So, excuse me, I said, when do you do it? When will you do it again? I mean, what's the schedule?
Okay. So it's the second Sunday of every month.
Okay.
Starting at 9.
Okay.
Regardless of the weather.
Okay.
So there were a couple of months in summer when I did this and nobody showed up, but I went out and did something anyway. But if it's really hot or if it's pouring rain, please, please let it pour rain. But
really?
God. But there's always something to do. Like I give us an activity, even if we don't want to go and sit outside. So yeah, every second Sunday at 9.
And also, thank you for that. And where's that early California garden in the Arboretum? Where is that?
Okay, so do you know the Arboretum quite well?
No. I have only been there twice, and it's always a different spot, and so I don't.
Yeah. So this one is almost as far as you can go to the west of the Arboretum. So there's a big pond at the very west, and then there's another pond. The next pond to the east of that is where I was sitting.
Okay.
So the south side of that pond, there's a little early California garden, and it's you park over at the Pewter Creek Lodge.
Pewter Creek. Okay.
Pewter Creek Lodge, and you just walk down from there.
Okay.
Not far from there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank
this
you.
was lovely, and
Thanks
we
for hosting.
will reconvene next
Yes.
time. All right.
Okay.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Take care.
Weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.